The Rockstar Sports Network starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Can you feel that? Tell me, can you feel that? You see it coming? Yeah, let me help you with your vision. They losing their sight here. Time to send the world a message they might hear. Like Meek Mills, I'm making it quite clear. I'm chasing my dreams and fighting my nightmares. I'm going real hard. I'm talking words you understand. I'm talking real bars. I'm going everywhere you know. I'm talking real far. Yeah, it's time to raise a toast to this thing to the Lord the most. As I go from coast to coast, I'm talking north side, I'm talking south side, I'm talking east side, I'm talking west side. I'm going worldwide, I'm going worldwide, I'm going worldwide, I'm going worldwide. Yeah, it's time to let you know how I spit it when I flow. When I go and light a fuse and I set to let it blow. I'm talking worldwide, I'm going worldwide, I'm going worldwide, I'm going worldwide. Yeah, time to check my status and the GOAT is what it be. And you know I'm over 30, so my level is a G. And I may be from the hood, but I'm way beyond these streets. And my pockets hate a diet, so they always down to eat. Even though they screaming fame, and it's always spelling me. And I'll never hang it up till my mission is complete. And I'm looking at you haters, I suggest you take a seat. Cause it's all funny game to a killer show his teeth. This is for them cats that be screaming homies. Claiming that you're real, but we know you're phony. Now I'm chillin' with my sons, they my one and only. Like the Turner brothers, yeah, we screamin' lions only. Step into this den, I welcome all who will dare. Never met a David, tell me whom shall I fear? Gotta rep the nation, black and gold is what I wear. If you look to your left, to your right, I'm everywhere. I'm talking north side, I'm talking south side, I'm talking east side, I'm talking west side. I'm going worldwide, I'm going worldwide, I'm going worldwide, I'm going worldwide. Yeah, it's time to let you know how I spit it when I flow. When I go with night.
Welcome live here at on Rockstar Sports Network, the 2020 MLK Weekend Stand Against Violence Boys and Girls Basketball Tournament, second annual. We have second matchup of the day with Albert Gallatin versus Latrobe. I'm Craig Thomas, along with my co-host Ken Apica. So Ken, we're looking forward to a good matchup today. We want to go through the starting lineup for your team here today from Latrobe.
Yeah, so the Greater Latrobe lineup, as we're waiting for the tip-off to happen, we have number 3, Michael Newman, and the tip-off is off. Michael Newman is senior, 6'6" senior, and he's one of the leading scorers of the team. We also have Drew Clare, who's a guard, number 1 on Greater Latrobe, 6-foot-tall junior. Ryan Sickenberger, who is a 5'10" junior, another guard. Frankie Newell, who's a 6'1" junior and another guard, and Chase Sickenberger, who is a sophomore. It's worth noting that Greater Latrobe, if you're not familiar with their roster, they have a couple different pairs of siblings on the team, so could be a good team chemistry over there.
So as we start the game out here, we had a miss by both teams here. Albert Gallatin gets to the rim and misses a layup. Go to the other end for Latrobe, and they miss. Scoring on the Albert Gallatin side is number 21, Tyrese Jackson, a forward, 6'1" senior. So we look forward to a great matchup this morning. Thank you for joining us on the second of our 9 games, at least today. We broadcast live here from this MLK tournament. Stay tuned for great basketball. Great shot there by Albert Gallatin, Dom Llewellyn, number 4 guard, 6'1" senior. So early on, Latrobe has found themselves in a small hole, trailing 5-0 starting out. So Latrobe comes into today with their record of 3-11, and Albert Gallatin comes in to today 6-8. So both teams come in trying to get their season headed in the right direction. So looks like Latrobe gets on the board. makes a 3-point shot, so cuts into that lead early. Ball goes out of bounds. Looks like it's going to stay here with Albert Gallatin. So starting out here, looking at the game and talking to Coach Shea Fleener early coach for Albert Gallatin, talked about last night. He comes off a big win, 63-62 over Greensburg. So he wasn't sure how much his team would have left in the tank, but he's going to push his guys hard to get a victory today and make a good showing. So at the free throw line again is Tyrese Jackson. Made the first one out of 2, pulling up to shoot the second one. So in a few minutes, we'll go over our keys to success, TNT keys to success here for each team. And we'll talk about, what they need to do to be successful to come out of here with a victory today. Nate, what have you seen so far as the play here in this tournament is concerned?
With this team in particular?
Just overall, the play in the tournament. Seen some good basketball play from a lot of different teams, from a lot of different places, Baltimore, different cities. Have you seen some great players?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. There was yesterday I was watching one of the matchups between a team from Baltimore. I forget where the other one was. And the one from Baltimore, they absolutely dominated the game. But one of the things that stuck out to me was just how much of a team unit they were. And you could say you'd notice how loud the bench would get every time they're shooting for a 3, or there ends up being a slam dunk or something. And even though they were so far up ahead, it was almost as if they were I guess not so much playing to defeat the other team by a wide margin, but just playing to look really good overall and basically kind of flex their muscles a bit. So there definitely have been some standout teams on this one. Also, we've had a couple very close matchups. I know last night was Woodland Hills versus Gateway. That was actually a pretty good match, and it could have kind of gone either way until about the fourth period when I believe it was Woodland Hills that started to pull away a bit more there. But otherwise, it was a very close game. For the most part, the widest gap in points was 4 points for most of the game. So very close in that aspect.
Right. The previous game that played already this morning featured Westinghouse versus Central Catholic. This game called by Sam the Lumberjack Timbers and Travis Newton. Central Catholic came out victorious with a 13-point victory. That was our first game of today. Great game, great effort by both teams. Good showing by Westinghouse to come out and push Central Catholic. So we look forward to a great lineup. Following this game here, we have Math, Civics, and Science versus Mount Lebanon. After that, we'll have Newtown versus Still Valley. One of the games that definitely want to watch is going to be that Baltimore Poly versus Chester. After that, we have Woodland Hills versus Moon, Kiski School versus Tees Valley, Penn Hills versus Butler, and St. Benedict versus Bishop Lockland. And that will be at 9 p.m. That'll be the last game. And we also have games available in the auxiliary gym as well. I think one of the highlight games for today will be the Woodland Hills girls, who are ranked 5th in a nation and in a state, versus the Lancaster Mennonite girls, and that will be at 1:30 p.m. So you get an opportunity to stop by, come on out, support, log in, watch live on Roxamore Sports Network. Enjoy each and every opportunity to see the games and support these young people in high school basketball and athletics. One of the things that I'd like to share with you guys just about the overall athletics in high school, some of the most influential people in your life and these young people's lives are coaches and parents. All right, outside of their parents, the coaches are some of the next most influential people in their lives. So, come out and support these kids and support something positive that they're doing here. Playing a sport, learning life skills through team building and learning perseverance, learning how to present themselves as professionals and do things in a proper fashion. So come on out and support and Stand Against Violence MLK weekend as we celebrate Martin Luther King's birthday as well on this weekend and do something positive. Back to the live action here where we have Latrobe trailing Albert Gallatin 12-7 here with 3 minutes and 2 seconds left here in the first quarter. Almost a turnover there. Once again, Latrobe gets a turnover, and they're headed the other way to try to cut into this 5-point lead.
I think I will say, I know the scoreboard doesn't so much reflect that, but I think Latrobe currently seems to be like almost the most aggressive team on defense that I've seen for the most part in this tournament. And they are really trying to get up close. Even a lot of the throw-ins, Latrobe is making sure to like kind of stay up in Albert Gatlin's face over there and just kind of give him a much harder time. Ultimately, Albert Gatlin is still pulling ahead, but Latrobe is giving them a run for their money a little bit.
So here, winding down towards 2 minutes left in the first quarter. Latrobe with the 3-point shot up off the top of the backboard will be a turnover and go the other way. So number 3 checking in at guard for Albert Gatlin, Hunter Sexton, 6.61 junior guard. It's instrumental in their offense coming off the bench here. So we'll see if he comes in and contributes as well. Once again, we got a turnover. So one of the things that we wanted to talk about was the keys for success for today. And I'll start it out with the Albert Gatlin Colonials. One of their keys for success is going to be to continue to push the ball and pressure the Latrobe defense, and also knock down shots. It'll be another key success for them. And then also limit their turnovers, as they have been turnover prone throughout the course of the year. So those are the 3 keys to success for the Albert Gatlin Colonials. I will turn it over to my co-host Ken Abaca for the keys to success for the Latrobe team.
Yeah, so you mentioned how Albert Gatlin, it's the key is to try and avoid a lot of the turnovers. But like I said earlier, with Latrobe's current playing style, that's going to prove to be a little bit trickier for Albert Gatlin, because they've been told to basically stay up in their faces more and obviously try and avoid any kind of foul trouble or anything like that. But that's a big thing that they've been trying to focus on, and it's definitely showing right now.
So we'd like to thank you once again for joining us live here, early morning coverage at the 2nd annual MLK Stand Against Violence Boys and Girls Basketball Tournament, hosted here at Woodland Hills High School. 2nd year of it. We'd like to thank Athletic Director Ron Corsi for organizing this event, bringing in talent from across the country to be showcased at this tournament. We saw quite a few Division I players yesterday on the first day from several teams. One of the teams that had standout player was at Baltimore Poly. They had some standout players. There were standout players that we wouldn't get a chance to see here in Western Pennsylvania, other than them being a part of this tournament. Some of those young men are headed to college on full scholarships, Division I schools, and some of them going to Division II schools. Nonetheless, their education will be paid for by them guys, by those young men being out here on the basketball court, doing something positive and contributing to the community and to their school. So going forward here, we're under 1 minute, and it looks like Albert Gatlin is holding on to a 3-point lead. They just lost the ball out of bounds. Looks like Coach Fleener calls a timeout. Here live at Roxamore Sports, we would like to take a timeout and thank our sponsors. We'll be right back.
Trouble can find anyone. At Frank Walker Law, we take the time to understand your situation and work tirelessly on your behalf. Hard-hitting representation when you need it the most. A real law firm getting real results.
Welcome back here live at Woodland Hills High School, the second annual MLK Stand Against Violence Boys and Girls Basketball Tournament at Woodland Hills High School. This second matchup of today features Latrobe versus Albert Gallatin, which right now, with about less than a minute left here in the first quarter, we have Albert Gallatin leading by 3 points. Latrobe has a basketball, drive to the hoop, miss off the rim, three-point shot from way out, off the rim. And it's a scrum for the ball. Looks like Albert Gallatin comes out with about shot clock and the game clock almost synchronized, so it should be pretty close to the end. And we have another scrum, a turnover going the other way.
That's the aggressive nature I was talking about earlier, and that was a very rough 10 seconds there.
So it looks like Latrobe stepped out of bounds there.
Back in for Latrobe, Drew player.
Donnie Shamiko stepped out of bounds for Latrobe Wildcats. Ball going the other way, under 10 seconds left. Trying to get a shot up. Ball down low, and a shot is up late and no good. So we are end of the first quarter here, and the Albert Gallatin Colonials lead the Latrobe Wildcats. We'd like to take a moment to thank one of our sponsors, the Wilbanks Consulting Group. Is your athlete struggling to see a career path after graduation? If your child lacks direction, career exploration coaching can help. The career experts at Wilbanks Consulting Group can help your athlete identify their strengths beyond sports for a lifetime of success and career satisfaction. Call 1-833-924-9675 today for your free consultation. The Wilbanks Group. Going back to play here, we wanted to also mention, Ken, what did you see the first quarter there?
Aggressive. That's really it in one word. And Latrobe, they're starting to get a little bit more into their stride here. I'm starting to see them. Now they're starting to do more of the strips. Now they're just starting to steal the ball away a little bit better. So hopefully we just see a little bit better shooting there.
So we wanted to also mention to you that the secondary gym will be playing a lot of the young lady events, and they'll be live on Facebook. Roxamore Sports will be covering the girls' games as well, so you'll have an opportunity to see those as well. If you get an opportunity, come on out and join us here at Woodland Hills High School here in Churchill, PA, up on Greensburg Pike, where you'll have some great high school basketball all day long, today, tomorrow, into Monday, celebrating the second annual MLK Stand Against Violence basketball tournament.
If you do choose to watch some of the women's matches on our Facebook page, just please make sure you don't get stuck browsing the rest of your news feed. There are good matches there. Don't get caught in any kind of tag group on Facebook or something.
So that was back to the live action. Nate English, number 2 point guard, junior for Albert Gallatin, sinks a three-pointer. There's a turnover and a run out. Looks like evenly matched here, and the Wildcats go up, and a 2-on-2 break. Maybe he should have been a little bit more, patient, maybe pulled that one out and look for a better shot as they're trying to fight to get back into this game. Trailing by 4 here early in the second quarter.
And we would like to take a moment to thank one of our sponsors, Wilson's Night Out. Come to Wilson's Night Out, not just for a night out, but for an experience of Caribbean cuisine with their happy hour, Monday through Friday from 5 to 7 p.m. with specialty drinks. Looking for that certain room to host parties, meetings, social events, receptions, repasts, and more. Wilson's Night Out.
Yeah, I'd have to tell you, I had an opportunity to stop at Wilson's Night Out and try some of their food. Have excellent food, excellent opportunity to have a room that's set up immaculately for any banquets or any social gatherings you'd like to have, separate from their main operating room. So great opportunity and one there for Latrobe, the Wildcats here. Number 3, Michael Noonan. But again, once again, we like to thank Wilson's Night Out for being one of our sponsors. And if you get a chance, stop by there and try some of their food. I think they will be trying to get our app for Roxamore Sports so you can watch some of the games at Wilson's Night Out live on Roxamore Sports. Back to the action with Albert Gallatin going down low, trying to get a layup and a foul. So going to the free throw line for 2 shots will be number 23, Dylan Shea, forward, 6'3", junior for Albert Gallatin. He'll be shooting 2 here. So Dylan's off the mark with the first free throw, no good. He'll be coming with the second one here shortly. Misses both of them. So that could be costly going down the stretch here as the Latrobe Wildcats have cut this lead down to 1 right now. They're looking to take their first lead of the game today. Deep 3 shot, off the mark. That shot was by Landon Butler, 6'1" freshman. He has a green light, I guess, because he pulled that one from way downtown, but he was slightly off the mark. Little pressure being applied by Latrobe, and Albert Gallatin breaks the pressure and makes them pay with the alley-oop pass down low, up and off the glass. Good to extend their lead to 3 points. Looks like we have a traveling violation. Turnover to Albert Gallatin. Have 2 people inserted to the game, Ryan Sittenberger and Nick Rocco inserted into the game here. Foul is on number 4, Landon Butler. Looks like sends Albert Gallatin to the foul line for 1-1. Young man, number 34, Braxton Turner, a 6'4" senior for Albert Gallatin, sinks the first one. And he makes them both to extend their lead to 5 with just about 5 minutes left here in the second quarter of the second game of today. Second game matchup with the Greater Latrobe Wildcats trailing the Albert Gallatin Colonials. Latrobe is working the ball around the outside. Here is Albert Gallatin has settled into a zone defense, trying to force Latrobe to shoot some outside shots here. So what do you see so far, Ken, as far as Albert Gallatin? What have they done to try to limit the looks for Latrobe?
Well, I will say that's a good question, but right now it looks like Albert Gallatin, they're not as cohesive as they were in the first quarter so far.
So player checked into the game for the Wildcats, Drew Clare, 6' junior guard. See what he comes in off the bench and he'll be able to contribute to the offense here. 3-point shot off the mark for number 15, Frankie Newell. He's a 6'1" junior guard. Shot was just off the mark for them. Ball goes to Albert Gatlin. They deal with the pressure pretty well, break the pressure easily. Get the ball down low. Shot is up for Dom Llewellyn. He's heating up here in this second quarter, finding his range there. Great shot by Dom Llewellyn off the dribble, pump fake, up and in. Great shot. We have a backcourt violation by Latrobe. Little sloppy pass in there, causing a turnover. Great pressure by Albert Gatlin. Once again, we talked about some of the keys to success here. These teams have to take care of the basketball, limit their turnovers, make their shots when possible, handle the pressure. Deep shot off the mark for Dom Llewellyn. He was a heat check there for Dom. I think he was checking to see just how hot he was, if he really found the range or not.
Foul, the Wildcats number 3, Michael Newman.
So once again to the foul line, Braxton Turner shooting 2 from the charity stripe. So we like to take a moment to thank another one of our sponsors, SOAR. They know the rules of the game, but do they know the rules of life? SOAR, Youth Empowerment, teaches your team, athlete, the rules of life. For more information, visit www.soarcoachingacademy.com or call 609-837-7237. SOAR, as we expect all of our kids to soar in life. Going back to the live play, we had some pressure there from the Wildcats, which turned the ball over. Going back, and they look to cut into this lead as they gotten the lead down to 2 points right now. Albert Gatlin has been a little bit sloppy with the ball. What do you see, Ken?
Well, we have seen. I will give Albert Gatlin a little bit of credit for producing some of the rebound or catching some of the rebounds on the part of Greater Latrobe. But when they're in control of the ball, Albert Gatlin, they like you said, they are a little bit more sloppy right now.
Jab, step.
And that was 2 points for number 3 of Greater Latrobe.
Yeah, that was a great jab step, the top of the key. Young man faced up Michael Newman and made that shot, drained it. He's a 6'6" senior, has a solid game. Young man has a solid game. Look to see him shoot more for this Latrobe team. But it's going to be difficult for him to do that because he just come out of the game for a little rest there. But we like to see more out of that young man on the offensive end. Looks like Albert Gatlin was at the free throw line for the front end of a 1-on-1, which they missed. Going down the stretch, though, big free throws are going to be big here. Looks like whichever team is going to be able to make their free throws with the alley-oop pass by the Latrobe Wildcats down low. Great pass, great communication up off the glass. Looks like they have their first lead.
And you were mentioning Newman earlier, and going into this game, he was actually one of the highest scorers for Greater Latrobe. Currently, he's had 5 points that he's scored so far in this match, but a lot of the other players have actually scored a good amount of points as well. In fact, at least 2 other players have actually scored 5 points this time. So it's been relatively productive overall, just as another 2-pointer is scored by number 15 of Greater Latrobe, Frankie Newell.
Yeah, great shot by that young man. Greater Latrobe looks like they're finding their touch as far as their shots are concerned, and made a game out of this, taking their lead. This is their second lead of the day, 25-23. But we have a little traveling violation for Latrobe, turning the ball over. Left here in the second quarter, with Greater Latrobe Wildcats leading the Albert Gatlin Colonials here in our second matchup of today. the 2020 MLK Weekend Stand Against Violence basketball tournament at Woodland Hills High School. Thank you for joining us for our extended coverage of the day, as we'll be featuring 9 basketball games here on the main court, and the other games that will be featured live on YouTube will be the young ladies. The ladies' games will be in the alternate gym, but they will be playing as well. Looks like there was a lot of contact there as the Albert Gallatin player drives to the hoop. That was Nate English, the point guard. Looked to be a little bit out of control. No call by the referees. As we've seen today, so far they're letting them play. But yesterday's play was a little touchy. What did you think about some of the foul calling yesterday and yesterday's activity, Nate?
Yeah, I was. It's kind of weird seeing like the contrast in today. There's still a decent amount of touching today. Very much fewer fouls called. Still some, but much fewer.
So it looks like the Wildcats have found something going to the hoop. As you've seen in the last few sets, they've been doing a lot of back cuts on the Albert Gallatin team, trying to get to the rim for layups. And they've had some success here down the stretch to take their second lead of today by 2 points. So as Latrobe works it around, you're looking for the last shot here of the first half, the second quarter, as they have a lead by 2.
Looks like they're trying to drain the clock a little bit to get one more shot in and prevent the others from getting it in. They have 4 seconds now, Albert, to do it.
Shot is up. Would have been good if it would have fallen, but the shot did not fall. So at halftime here, the Greater Latrobe Wildcats are leading the Albert Gallatin Colonials. So here in game 2 so far, Ken, what have you seen so far?
Yeah, well, Greater Latrobe, gotta give them a lot of credit there. Very much staying in everyone's faces, and they're just doing relatively well for the most part. They've also eventually they started warming up a little bit more, and we started to see them actually converting on more of the shots that they were throwing. So Greater Latrobe, a lot of momentum that they have going into the second half here, and I honestly wouldn't be too surprised to see them ultimately pull ahead in the end. It could go either way, though. What do you think?
Yeah, so going in the second half, the Colonials are going to have to take care of the basketball, limit their turnovers, as we talked about in their keys to success earlier, and make shots. They come off of just playing last night, so talking to Coach Shea Fleener earlier, he didn't know how much his team had left in the tank because they had a tough game last night against Greensburg where they came out victorious, but they expended a great amount of energy. He wasn't sure who he was going to start, which team would start, which out of his 5 would start, but he ended up sticking with the same lineup. And right now, they're struggling a little bit trying to get some offense going and struggling with their turnovers. So going forward to the second half of this game, we look forward to whichever team is going to be able to limit their turnovers, and what team will make free throws will probably come out of this victorious in our second matchup. Looking forward to today, our third matchup will be the Math, Civics, and Science team versus Mount Lebanon. And that's at 12 o'clock. Newtown versus Steel Valley. It's at 1:30. Baltimore Poly versus Chester at 3. Woodland Hills, the host team, versus Moon here at 4:30. Kiski area versus Tees Valley at 6 p.m. Penn Hills versus Butler at 7:30. And St. Benedict versus Bishop Lachlan at 9 p.m., which will round out our play. Then in the auxiliary gym, we have Alderdice girls versus Sewickley Academy girls. That was our first matchup. Elizabeth Seton girls versus North Allegheny girls. It's going on right now. I Am Hotep girls versus Mount Lebanon. I'll be at 12 o'clock, Lancaster Mennonite girls versus Woodland Hills will be our host game at 1:30. So if you can make it here, stop by to support these young people, support what we're doing to try to stem the violence here in the community, not just in Pittsburgh, but across the country, as we know that there is an epidemic of violence going on in this country, and we would like to give these young people something to do other than find issues or problems or mischief or things to get into. So being out, being a part of something positive, team building, getting something that can carry them through life, and having opportunities to put their best foot forward is a great opportunities for these young people. So we like to thank Athletic Director Ron Corsi. This is his brainchild, putting it together, bringing these teams from all over the country, showcasing some great talent. As I said yesterday, Ken, did you want to talk about some of the players that we saw from yesterday, some of the standout players that we saw, and what you saw from yesterday's play?
Well, first, you were just mentioning this whole stand against violence thing, and one thing I do want to mention, I guess one of the most sobering signs of what this event means, there's like a wall that they have outside of this, outside of both of the gymnasiums, and it has a lot of pictures of people who basically ended up losing their lives to gun-related violence. And it is pretty sobering to look at. Like, these are people's family, friends, like brothers, sisters, and stuff, and all their lives basically cut way too short. So hopefully this event really does serve to raise awareness to this issue and show people that there are more options out there.
So we like to, we've all been touched here by a lot of this gun violence. Myself in particular, one of my best friends that was on the team with me when we initially came and Woodland Hills was formatted, Maurice Price, he played offensive line for me, was one of my best friends in high school, one of my offensive tackles, and he was 6'4", about 340 or 50 pounds. He actually died at a young age at about 20 or 21, taking of this gun violence. So this is something that is near and dear to all of our hearts here. We don't want to see any of these young people perish for these negative activities. So if anything we can do, as a community, as the adults in this community, to stand up against this gun violence and show these young people how to get along, create camaraderie, cohesion in different communities, let them play against each other, and have good, clean competition and not animosity and anger against each other is important, not just in these communities, but across the country, because we do not want to see any of these young people perish for this gun, any of this violence.
Oh, right, absolutely. None of us do, and school administrators, they don't either. We're here at Woodland Hills, and that's one thing that the superintendent here has definitely kept in mind. He recently joined this school. I forget if it was like 1 or 2 or maybe 3 years ago, but he knew what he was up against. I mean, the school being a relatively dark place, multiple people around here had they knew someone who had lost their life to gun violence. Like, students in this school had lost their lives to stuff related to guns. Most high profile out of that would be Antoine Rose, but yeah, this has been something that's affected everyone here.
Yeah, that was one of the ones that just happened more recently, but that one got national press. I participated in some of the marches and some of the activities there. A big thing is to come out of something like that with resolve and an opportunity to change some things that were in place already that prior did not inhibit the opportunity for that child to be taken senselessly at an early age. So that was one of the more high-profile cases, but there's been several here, and I believe in the last 30 years, I believe it was almost 70 kids that were lost here due to gun violence. But I have to get with one of our parent organizers. Her name is Kathy Walsh, I believe her last name is, but Kathy is one of the main organizers of one of the community, a lot of our community events here, along with some of our other people here, are good people that are partners with Roxamore, like Lee Davis Consulting, Leonard Hammonds, quite a few guys that are very instrumental in the community and trying to help out and curb and stem the gun violence. So we like to thank you for joining us here. This is a big weekend, fitting to be on the Martin Luther King weekend as we celebrate what he stood for, and we celebrate his excellence as one of our forefathers and one of our, representatives for, change here in this country. So we like to thank you as we have our second game, Latrobe here versus Albert Gallatin. And right now, Latrobe is taking their second lead of the day with a 25-23 point lead. We'd like to thank you for joining us. MLK 2020, Stand Against Violence, Boys and Girls Basketball Tournament 2020 Vision in 2020, live on Roxamore Sports Network. We have several events coming up here. Roxamore Sports shows a lot of different sporting events, boxing, bowling, swimming. So you can stay tuned to Roxamore Sports, and you will see that this network will provide you with a great variety of sporting activities local to be a part of that you may not see on other networks. So Ken, how has your experience been so far? We'd like to welcome you to the team. Thank you for joining us. And, we've been going through, as we've been growing here, new teams being formed, new opportunities. I'm thankful to be here today, 50 years old.
Happy birthday to you.
Thank
Today
you.
is
Thank you very much.
Craig's birthday, for those of you watching, right here.
Right.
Wait, 30.
Oh,
30,
yeah.
30,
50
that's right.
is the new 30. Yes, it is. So happy to be here, as a lot of my friends did not make it to be 50 due to what we're here to stand against right now, gun violence. So happy to be here, happy to be a part of the team. We'd like to thank our CEO and owner, Leon Rockymore, for starting this and having a vision to start this network and allowing us to be a part of it. My co-host, Travis Newton, Sam the Lumberjack Timbers. We are here live with you at Woodland Hills High School, all-day coverage. So please enjoy the coverage, sit back, relax. It's a little snow out there right now. Winter has finally hit the greater Pittsburgh area. So
I'm not very happy about that.
Right.
I was definitely enjoying these days of warmer weather, no snow. Right now, the roads could freeze over a little bit. So, if we can hold off on that kind of weather, maybe just fast forward to April or something, I'd greatly appreciate that.
So back to live action, starting out the second half. Looks like foul on Dom Llewellyn of the Colonials. So it looks like the Wildcats get the ball first, and ball's out of bounds off of the Colonials, will remain with the Wildcats. So we have a timeout in play. Latrobe has stopped, taking an early timeout. I'm sure Coach wanted to discuss something. You would pretty much think that he may have talked about all he needed to talk about at halftime, but maybe he saw something different that he wanted to discuss with his team.
Yeah, maybe so. I don't know. Maybe the players happen to forget something right around that he just said at halftime. I'm not really sure. Hopefully, Coach, I forget how many timeouts they get, but hopefully they don't need to take that many more.
So we're back to the live action here. Latrobe inbounds the ball underneath the hoop, around the perimeter. Shot is up. Rainbow off the front of the rim. Fight for the rebound. Taken by Latrobe. Ball's back on our outside, setting up play number 2. Points off of second chance points will be big here in the second half. Come out to see who's going to win, come out victorious in this game. Latrobe works the ball around. Not sure what happened to the shot clock. I guess since we don't really play with the shot clock here in Pennsylvania, looks like they have turned the shot clock off here. I would say that it would be advantageous for these young men as they move forward to get used to playing with that shot clock. even in high school, gives you an opportunity to pick up the pace of the game. Looks like Albert Gallatin has just tied the game up.
Is I'm guessing there's no kind of loophole in the rules or anything where if the shot clock isn't showing, then they can just hold the ball because then Woodland Hill, not Woodland Hills. Greater Latrobe could just camp with it for the whole time, but looks like you got to keep the game going here.
So as we saw in the first half, the Wildcats have continued their offensive barrage with back cuts, finding the open man, cutting to the hoop against this Albert Gallatin team. So they found something that's working here right now against Albert Gallatin, against the Colonials. But to the line for Albert Gallatin is once again Braxton Turner, as he went to the line several times in the first half, and he's good on the first of 2 free throws there.
And right now we have Michael Newman hopping off the court. Looks like they put someone else in.
And he hits both of the free throws, which is big there. Ball on the baseline. Latrobe drive to the hoop. Ball is up, tipped in. Tip in. Great tip in there. So right now, the Latrobe Wildcats are leading the Colonials of Albert Gallatin 29-27 with 6 minutes and 1 second left. 1 second left here in the third quarter. Live, the 2020 MLK Stand Against Violence basketball tournament at Woodland Hills High School, live on Roxamore Sports.
And I will say, with the way number 15, Frankie Newell of Greater Latrobe blocked that last throw in, it just has me thinking, Greater Latrobe, they're not trying to give any breaks here, are they? They're just, even just a simple throw in, a lot of other teams, they're kind of avoid getting too aggressive there just to keep some energy in the tank there. But Greater Latrobe, they're like, no, we're not dealing with that. We're just going to stay in their faces. And I wonder what that's going to do for the on the mental side of things for Albert Gallatin. Will they keep trying to think they have to like overplay or something to keep up? And we'll see what ends up happening with that.
So it was a great call there by the referee, block on Albert Gallatin. The Wildcats will go to the free throw line, shooting 2. They haven't been getting to the free throw line that much, but that was a great free throw by number 15. Looks like Frankie Newell, and he's a 6'1" junior guard. So second one is off the mark, but we have a close ball game here, 30-29. As the Wildcats come up with pressure, look for the turnover, and there's a scrum, and the ball is tied up, and the referee takes a trip, but he stops. Possession arrow goes to the Colonials. Side out, not to the, yes, to the Colonials. Again, the Wildcats come out with a lot of pressure again. Drive to the hoop for the Colonials, up, miss a layup, back outside, working the ball. Looks like it could have been a 3-second call as they were camped out in the lane. No call, ball is up and in off the rim, layup complete. Looks like the Colonials have taken a lead back here.
Only a 1-point lead though, so that might change, doesn't change right yet. But it might change really soon.
So as number 4, Landon Butler goes to the free throw line, shooting 2. Looks like the Colonials defender was straight up on that. I didn't see a whole lot of contact there, but the referee saw something, sends him to the line for free throws, and it looks like he missed the first one. There's a saying in basketball that the ball does not lie, so as he missed the first shot, but he'll be stepping to the line for the second one, and he drains it. We have a tie ball game here. Once again, we'd like to thank you for joining us live this weekend. 2020 MLK Stand Against Violence Boys and Girls Basketball Tournament, Woodland Hills High School. We have showcase of some of the best high school talent here in Western Pennsylvania, along with some other teams that have come in from across the country to showcase some of their players. Down low right there for the Colonials is Tyrese Jackson. We'll be going to the line shooting 2.
And he's lined up. First one's good.
What have
32-31.
you seen so far in the second half? Have you seen any different game plans, or both teams pretty much doing what they did in the first half?
I feel like so far it almost feels sort of like what the second quarter of this matchup was like. It's still some of that increasing momentum between Latrobe, and if anything, I guess the game is closer now. For the most part, it's basically been a 2 or a 1 point gap the whole time, with a few moments of a tie game.
So we have a timeout in play here, a stoppage in play, and we'd like to take the time to thank you again for watching live on Roxamore Sports Network. 2020 MLK Stand Against Violence Boys and Girls Basketball Tournament from Woodland Hills High School here in Churchill, PA. This is the second annual tournament. It will feature games all day. The next matchup will be the Math and Science and Civics team versus Mount Lebanon, and that'll be at 12 noon here. Will be followed by Newtown versus Still Valley, followed by Baltimore Poly versus Chester, and one of the host teams, Woodland Hills versus Moon. We'll follow that, Kiski area versus T Valley, Penn Hills versus Butler, St. Benedict versus Bishop Lockland. And then also we will have play from the young ladies, the girls' side. If you want to talk about the girls' side.
Yeah, so earlier today I actually watched a bit of it, the Alderdice versus Swickley Academy, and right now there's Elizabeth Seton versus the North Allegheny. There's Mount Lebanon versus Imhotep. Lancaster Mennonite versus Woodland Hills. That's at 1:30. At 3 p.m. we have Moon versus McKeesport. There's St. Francis versus Oakland Catholic at 4:30. Penn Hills versus Mount Zion Academy at 6 o'clock. Mount Zion versus McKeesport at 7:30, and Alderdice versus Pine Richland at 9. And a friendly reminder that all the women's matchups are you can watch them live. If you're not here in person, which you should be, you can actually watch them live on the Roxamore Sports Facebook page specifically. That's where all the women's matchups will be.
Back to the live action here. Looks like Albert Gatlin gets one, goes to the hoop to increase their lead to 4 as range layup. As they come out with pressure against Albert Gatlin, they break the pressure easily. I'm not sure why the young man passed up on a layup to pass the ball to his teammate, which was unselfish, but he's so close at point-blank range, you want him to take that shot.
Yeah, and with the kind of pressure that was on that teammate that he was trying to pass it to, that ultimately didn't play out very well. Although it might play out okay because there are 2 free throws, and we'll see if he, unfortunately, he doesn't make the first one. So safe to say this didn't exactly play out the way that Albert Gatlin wanted.
Yeah, Dylan Shea is at the line. He's a 6'3" junior forward, so he's going to be around for another year. So they'll have another year with that young man. You're going to have to work on those free throws because he missed both of those, and he missed them badly. So we'll look forward to them seeing this young man play as well. Now, the Wildcats are content with looking for the back cuts, so I'm not sure right now with the Colonials playing a man-to-man defense, they have to be aware of all the back cuts, as that's the plan for the Wildcats for their game plan is to continue to cut more and look for the open guy. So first half, in the second quarter, they were successful. Not so much so far here in the third quarter, as they have relinquished their lead and gone behind by 4 points. Great defensive effort on that trip by the Colonials. They have the ball up. Shot is off the mark. Rebound, back up again, off the mark, and we have a foul. So going back to the line once again is Dylan Shea. See, he has an opportunity. See if he can improve on his foul shooting here.
And he has 2 chances. First one, no good, in and out.
So while we have a moment and a break in the play, have our co-host here, Sam, the Lumberjack Timbers. Sam, you want to talk a little bit about the stand against violence and some of the things that you've seen in the community as far as what we've participated in and tried to do along with Kathy. Walsh is her name. She's a coordinator here in the community. Woodland Hills School District been helping out with a lot as she lost a child to violence as well. So it's been near and dear to a lot of people in this community's heart, and we would like to definitely make a stand against that.
Kathy Turner Welsh has lost her son November the 17th, 2017, which hasn't been very long ago. He was a football player for Woodland Hills Wolverines, and she's put together a mural outside of all the young men and women who lost their lives to gun violence, and they're seeking 1,000 pledges from all young men and women coming in here today, all during this 2020 MLK Stand Against Violence basketball tournament, getting them to sign a pledge to say that they will stand against violence. It's more than just basketball. We've had some prayer walks organized by myself and Craig Thomas and the Greater Valley Center for Services. And so we brought attention to it too as well within this community. Also, any one of these teams that's coming in here today can also sign a child's name that will be posted out on the wall too. From where they're from, they may have lost a loved one as well.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Sam. We really appreciate it. So as a community and as a country, we would like to stand against violence. We like to show these young people that there are other alternatives to violence and be successful about, their career and about their life and moving forward. So back to the live action where we have the Albert Gallatin Colonials leading 36-31 with 1 minute and 10 seconds left. 3-point shot made by number 15, Frankie Newell. And great shot by that young man to cut the lead down to 2 points here. We're under a minute left here in the third quarter. Live at the 2020 MLK Stand Against Violence Boys and Girls Basketball Tournament at Woodland Hills High School, Churchill, PA. Great opportunity, a great weekend for these young people to stand against violence and play basketball. Great shot there.
Number 1 there of Greater Latrobe. That was he had his hands up quite high. That was Drew Clare, thinking that he had the 3-pointer there. Unfortunately, he didn't have that one. And
all right, with 13 seconds left here, great shot. Tyrese Jackson pushes the lead for the Colonials to 6 points here late in the third quarter. Rebound is up and off the mark. The end of 3 quarters here. The Albert Gallatin Colonials 40 and Latrobe Wildcats 34.
And we would like to take a moment to thank one of our sponsors for Rossmore Sports Network, Behern and Ernsberger. Do you need a law firm in Pittsburgh? Have you or a member of your family suffered a serious injury? Did an insurance company refuse your claim? You may need help from a proven lawyer who will work for you. Call attorney Dan Ernsberger at 412-391-2515.
Right, thank you. So, moving forward, here at the end of the third quarter, Albert Gallatin has a 40-34 lead over the Wildcats of Latrobe. So we'd like to thank you for joining us here live on Roxamore Sports. We'll take a short break and we'll be right back.
Bad things happen to good people. accidents, serious injuries, or even death. When they do, families call Frank Walker Law, where we fight to get you the compensation you deserve. Hard-hitting representation when you need it the most. A real law firm getting real results.
Welcome back here at the 2020 MLK Weekend Stand Against Violence Boys and Girls Basketball Tournament at Woodland Hills High School in Churchill, PA. My name is Craig Thomas, and I have Ken
Abaca. Hello,
Abaca.
hello.
I'm getting tongue-tied there with Ken. Ken Abaca, brand new, fresh off the
Number
opportunity. He's a new member of our staff, and Ken is doing a great job. Thank you for joining us, Ken. A big weekend to start. Glad to have you a part of our team.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And so here live at our second game of 9 for today on the main court, we have Albert Gallatin Colonials leading the Wildcats of Latrobe 40-34. Ken, what have you seen so far in this game?
Well, one thing I will say I've just noticed basically from the crowds is it looks like we have a couple passionate, I guess, maybe parents out there. And just a friendly reminder, there is a sign out there outside the gym saying, like, to be good, if you're at these kind of events, please make sure you're being like a good sports person. Let the players play, let the coaches coach, let the referees referee, and just enjoy the match. Cheer everyone on, but also make sure you're enjoying the match. Now, what were you telling me earlier?
Shot is up for, looks like the Colonials drive to the hoop, tries to dish the ball off, and looks like Tyrese Jackson is going to be going to the free throw line for shooting 2 once again. So once again, 2020 vision in 2020, Martin Luther King Stand Against Violence Boys and Girls Basketball Tournament, live, Woodland Hills Gymnasium, Churchill, PA, the home of the Woodland Hills Wolverines. Thanks a lot to Ron Corsi, who has been our organizer for this tournament. Also, we'd like to thank our owner and CEO, Leon Rockymore, who had the vision to start Roxamore Sports Network and make us a part of his team. We'd like to thank you for joining us. We'd ask you to stay tuned as we have all-day coverage, both boys and girls basketball. We've had players out here, international players, players from Baltimore, players from around the country and around the world that we've seen here in the first day of play. Some of these players, we will definitely be seeing them play basketball on the next level in college, and some of them in the pros.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Even some of the teams that we looked at, So also for those of you tuning in may not quite know this, but it looks like Craig, looks like today's a special day for you in terms of years.
Yeah, today is a special day. I'm grateful to be here and be a part of this team. Today is my birthday, 50 years old.
No, 30.
50 is the new 30. I'm going to ride with Jay-Z on that one.
There you go.
And Beyonce, but 50 is a new 30. I'm just glad to be here, be a part of what we're trying to do here in Pittsburgh and the community and to stand against violence across the community and even across the country for these young people. So I'm honored to be here, a part of this on my birthday and celebrate with you guys and watch some great basketball from these young people, both young ladies and young men here. Thank you, ref. The referee comes over and said, happy birthday. Make good calls, ref, all day. That's all we want from you, sir. Good calls, good calls. So thank you, guys, and I'm just happy to be a part of it. Thank you, Ken, for acknowledging that. Back to live coverage here. 6 minutes and 36 seconds left here in the fourth quarter with the Colonials leading the Wildcats 41-38. Action has been furious back and forth. Both teams put forth some effort, and we have a three-point shot. Dom Llewellyn, one of the stars for the Colonials, stepped back at NBA range and drained the three. As we're getting furious action
They can't
here.
even get the ball out of the backcourt. Look at this.
So it looks like the Colonials get the ball out, and They call a charging foul on Dylan Shea. Could have been a little bump there, ref. I don't know about that call, ref, but we'll trust you to call them close all game.
And with that foul, we now have number 1, Drew Clare, dribbling the ball towards the Latrobe side.
So with 5:50 left here, we have a 4-point game. Not sure what Latrobe is doing. They're holding the ball. They're trailing, but they looks like they will want to get the shots up on the board here. The shot clock was turned off here because here in Western Pennsylvania, they do not have the shot clock in high school basketball, but I think it's a good opportunity for them young men to play under that shot clock. Foul on the Colonials sends number 4, the Wildcats, to the line, Landon Butler, for 2 shots. So his first free throw is good here to cut that lead to 3 with 5:32 left here in the 4th period. Second one is good as well. So the Wildcats have applied constant pressure. Almost a pickoff and a turnover there for the Colonials. Leads to up and a shot almost. Ball goes back to the Colonials. So once again, the Colonials are struggling with the pressure from the Wildcats. And once they break that press, they should be attacking that press and getting easy layups. Having difficulty getting the ball in, get the ball in to Mr. Jackson. He breaks the press and he loses the ball. Up and in.
And just like that, we are at a tie game between the two. And it's once again proving hard for Albert Gatlin. And another steal. For 3.
Rebound is taken by the Colonials. Number 3, Hunter Saxton on the rebound. 6'1" guard, and he goes coast to coast, pulls the ball out and loses it. Ball's back the other way. Shot is up and off the mark. Colonials with the rebound, going the other way. Dom Llewellyn. Good ball handling skills there by the young man. So it looks like the Colonials slow the ball down with 4 minutes, just over 4 minutes left here in the 4th quarter. Ball down low, no call foul. Dylan Shea goes up for the layup and is off the mark.
I feel like right now, Latrobe's bench, they need to get a little bit louder, cheering on their guys a little bit more. This is really close, and a nice block there. But Latrobe, they're really being productive right now. It's a tie game right now, and it can be anyone's here. And Latrobe, they're doing a lot of blocking. They need to get more of the shooting down. They need to do more of they need to get more of the shots in, and so we just need to. If we can get that bench a little bit louder from Latrobe, maybe that'll give the players the morale boost that they might need to get this game in their favor.
Great up fake there by the young man, Dylan Shea, as number 30 checks in for the Colonials, makes his presence known. Mason Lehue, forward junior, 6 feet, secures a rebound, throws a great outlet pass. Dylan Shea finishes on the other end to take the 2-point lead. Shot is up by the Wildcats, off the mark. Rebound secured by Dylan Shea. Ball is going the other way for the Colonials. Going to the hoop, Nate English, great drive, a little bit out of control. Ball is up and off the rim. No good. Possibility of a 3-point play here. But shot was off the mark. Going to the line, shooting 2. For Ryan Sickenberger. We will take a short break here at the 2020 MLK Stand Against Violence Weekend at Woodland Hills High School on Roxamore Sports. We'll be right back.
Trouble can find anyone. At Frank Walker Law, we take the time to understand your situation and work tirelessly on your behalf. Hard-hitting representation when you need it the most. A real law firm getting real results.
Welcome back live here, the MLK 2020 Stand Against Violence Boys and Girls Basketball Tournament at Woodland Hills High School, Churchill, PA, live on Roxamore Sports Network. Set game 2 of 9 here on the main court today. Craig Thomas along with my co-host Ken Abaka. Got that right that time, Ken.
Almost Abaca.
Abaca. Ken Abaca. I have it by the end of the day, Ken. No disrespect.
Yeah, you'll get it. Don't
Ken
worry.
Abaca.
I'm new here, so
yeah, new guy.
you don't know me as
your
well.
name's always messed up as a new guy. So, but we love you nonetheless. Great to have you with us. We'll be all stressed out today, doing all 9 games on this main court and maybe some other ones on the auxiliary court. Up next will be the Math and Civics and Science versus Mount Lebanon at noon. After that will be the Newtown versus Still Valley, Baltimore Poly versus Chester, Woodland Hills versus Moon will be one of our key games here to watch. Also, right now, the Colonials have taken a 3-point lead here with just over 2 minutes left here in the fourth quarter. It's been a highly contested matchup in our second matchup. The Wildcats have come out and really put forth a great effort. They've pressed the Colonials the entire game, gotten a lot of turnovers. Haven't gotten a lot of baskets off of those turnovers, but they've gotten a lot of turnovers nonetheless. So the Colonials get a long rebound and really get a run out. Secondary break there. Tyrese Jackson gets down low and makes a layup to increase their lead to 5 here. We are now under 2 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter. Live, Roxamore Sports 2020 MLK Weekend Stand Against Violence. We have a 3-point shot by the Wildcats and a turnover here. So they're down by 2 with 1 minute and 38 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. Great shot by the young man. What did you see on that, Ken?
And that's proof. This game is not over right now. It was 5 points with under 2 minutes to go. It's like, oh no, what could Latrobe do here? They may not have this one. Well, look at that. They end up scoring a 3-pointer right there. And the throw in, once again, Latrobe in the face of Albert Gallatin, and they end up stealing the ball away, and it's Latrobe's ball. So now they're just 2 points down. They're in control of it with a little over a minute and a half to go, so it really could be anyone's game at this point, and shows that good to have some good endurance here because they still have some energy in the tank to hold through towards the end of this matchup.
So the Latrobe Wildcats, even though they're 3-11, they come out and they're a well-coached team. Head coach Brad Wesley, he's a great coach. He has his team well prepared, even though their record is not reflective of their skill and their talent. These teams have come out, Latrobe team come out and played this Albert Gallatin team hard for the entire game, putting 110% effort out there. And that's all you can ask out of these young men. Win, lose, or draw, come out and play as hard as you can. Leave it all on the court. Give it everything you got and try to win. But if you don't win, at least you put forth a good effort. So inbounding the ball here with 1 minute and 38 seconds left on the clock will be the Wildcats as they try to cut into this 2-point deficit. 3-point shot, wide open look, and he drains it by number 1. Drew Clare stepped up, and another turnover by the Colonials. Looks like the coach, Shea Fleener, may need to call a timeout there to get his team. They look a little rattled right now. So as the Wildcats work the ball around, 1 minute and 15 seconds left to go in the fourth quarter as they cling to a 1-point lead. Great matchup here. Western Pennsylvania basketball. The Mount Lebanon the Greater Latrobe Wildcats versus the Albert Gatlin Colonials here at Woodland Hills High School Arena. MLK 2020 Stand Against Violence weekend, and we have a drive to the hoop by the Wildcats. Shot was no good. Foul going to the line for two shots.
And this is where, like, all of what we were seeing with Greater Latrobe, this is where it's really starting to pay off, because we have, they're drawing the fouls, they're doing all the steals and everything, and now they're finally converting, and look at that. Now it's a 2-point game with Greater Latrobe up with under 1 minute to go.
Yeah, that was a great drive to the hoop. I think that was from Mr. Sickenberger. That was a great drive to the hoop there for Ryan Sickenberger. So it looks like there's two Sickenbergers on this lineup, Ryan and Chase, as they are brothers. And they are constant pressure by this Wildcat team. And they get another turnover.
A little bit of a controversy here. The ball was ended up going out of bounds. It looks like it was possibly thrown out, but it might have been tipped. And it looks like Latrobe has actually gotten the ball, because they say that Albert Gatlin ended up tipping the ball.
Yeah, I'm not sure here. Coach Shea Fleener is a little upset. I'm not sure how they got a timeout. If they had possession of the ball or they didn't have possession of the ball. Not sure how they called a timeout, but right now we have a discussion with the referees. With Coach Fleener seems a little upset.
Oh, that could be a technical.
We're under 1 minute here. As there's some discussion with the referee and Coach Fleener. The Colonials not happy with the call that was made as his team trails 53-50 here. Under a minute of play left. Live at the MLK Stand Against Violence weekend, Woodland Hills High School Boys and Girls Basketball Tournament, second annual. Live on Roxamore Sports. Organized, set up by Ron Corsi, new athletic director here at Woodland Hills, as we try to come together as a community and a country to stand against violence. Stand against violence and create cohesion amongst all of these young people here. As they inbounds the ball, it looks like it could have been an over and back there, and a referee calls looks like a touch foul there. What did you see, Ken?
I actually got a little bit lost on that one, trying to figure out what was going on there. But it looks like it has played out in Latrobe's favor here, as they get some free throws in their favor.
They go to the line in a 1-and-1, and that 1-and-1 is costly. It's off the mark there. That's the next one. That was costly free throw there, as they've given the Colonials an opportunity to stay in this game, and they'll march to the other end and shoot free throws. It looks like going to the free throw line will be Dylan Shea for the Colonials, shooting a 1-and-1. So it'd be imperative with 40 seconds left on the clock that he sinks both of these free throws to keep his team in the game. He's off the mark. 36 seconds left. They're going to have to foul here in order to get a possession. Send them to the free throw line, as they can run out the clock. And as they work the ball around, the Colonials can't get to them to foul. They continue to keep the ball moving. And foul for the Wildcats is number 14. Ryan Sickenberger held on to the ball. He could have kept it moving to keep moving the clock, but he'll go to the free throw line. Shooting here to ice this game.
And if he makes this will be pretty loud. As I expected, a lot of excitement from that Latrobe bench. 4-point game now.
So coming down the stretch here, once we talked about one of our keys here was free throws. And as you've seen, the Colonials did not make their free throws, which ultimately, along with the turnovers, have led to, looks like them suffering a loss here to this Latrobe Wildcats team, who come in at 3-11 and improve their record to 4-11 here. Great game, and that's the end of play here in our second matchup here at the 2020 MLK Stand Against Violence Weekend, boys and girls basketball tournament, Woodland Hills Senior High School. I'm Craig Thomas. When Ken Baca, we'd like to thank you for joining us. We're going to grab some coaches here and come right back with some coverage. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. Here at the Woodland Hills Senior High School. I'm live with coach of the Greater Latrobe Wildcats, who was victorious over the Colonials here of Albert Gallatin here in our second matchup. We like to take a moment to talk to Coach and tell Coach Wetzel, great game plan. You pressured the Colonials hard the entire game. Was that what you thought would lead to you winning the game?
I think that was the difference. I mean, we were able to apply that pressure, and by the end of the game, I thought it turned into a couple of turnovers that we desperately needed, and just the whole game, I think, kind of wore them a little bit. They played last night, and I think at the end of the day, that pressure won us the game. So, Coach, we like to tell you, congratulations at a 4-11 record now. Was not reflective of the talent that you have on your team. Your guys came out, they were well coached. You kept them in tune to the game. You kept them focused. You applied pressure 94 feet for the greater part of the game, which ultimately led to your team winning. Also, your team made free throws. What was your game plan? And coming in and going forward, what do you look for the rest of the season? Well, I mean, this is our last exhibition game before it's all section practically. We come to actually Woodland Hills for our last game. And, our goal really is to make sure we don't shoot ourselves in the foot, apply the pressure, and get some opportunities in the open floor. And so, we got to have Mike Newman be a bigger part of all that. And fortunately tonight, he sat in the bench. He's averaging 21 points a game, and he sat in the bench almost the whole game because, some of it was his fault, making silly decisions, and we can't afford to do that. Right. So as you come to this tournament here, this your first time playing in this MLK weekend tournament, Stand Against Violence? Yes, it was. We signed up for it last year. I think it's a great idea for a great cause and a great reason. And that storm came, and we shut the school down and weren't allowed to come because of transportation. So we'll be coming every year they have it because I think it's a great cause. Thank you, Coach. Congratulations. Thank you for a great victory, and we'll see you later in the weekend. Live here on Roxamore Sports Network, MLK 2020 Stand Against Violence basketball tournament. Craig Thomas, and we'll be right back with one of the players here for Albert Gallatin Colonials. We'll be right back.
We take the time to understand your situation and work tirelessly on your behalf. Hard-hitting representation when you need it the most. A real law firm getting real results.
All right, we are here live with Roxamore Sports Network, and we have Dylan Shea here of Albert Gallatin here. So, Dylan, just talk us through that last game. One of the things I want to bring up is that it was relatively physical from that other team. So, talk us, like, what were you thinking there, and how were you able to try to counteract that?
You know, coming into the game, we were thinking we didn't see too much size besides the one big guy, thinking we can out-physical them. But they came out, they played physical, they played tough, turned the ball over a lot. We did. We were having trouble getting the ball past half court, and they really put the pressure on us.
What was going through Coach's mind? What was he telling you guys at halftime around the game?
We just got to start playing as a team, making the right choices. We're turning the ball over too much on the wrong stuff. So some guys open, we're not kicking it. We're just not playing as a team right now. But we're coming together.
All right, and what do you think is gonna? What kind of changes do you think you guys are gonna focus on most for your next game, whenever that is?
We got a section game coming up next Friday. We're really gonna focus on just playing as a team, playing all together, just getting the ball up, no turnovers. We gotta make our free throws. I missed a lot of free throws tonight, but.
All right, well, there we have it. Dylan Shea here with Albert Gallatin after that last game. Now, this is Roxamore Sports Network, and we will be right back.